pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes to read, you know?
38 minutes worth right here.
20.
Or 28. Let me strictly type it up.
Make a motion to approve the June 25th meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, even with Wendy being on vacation, we still owe mine and Fanny that much. Wow.
With Wendy being on vacation, we still owe.
Yeah, that's when they she was coming in,
Okay.
there's like $2,000 for her coming in, midnight doing the. It was actually 4,000 something, and then they give us a 25% discount.
The 201, 207, that's, we have to approve that, because it's more than $28,000.
Yeah.
And once we do that, we'll get through the bills. Motion.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. That's a water update. Scott says he covered for Wendy and the water treatment plant. Leaks were found on Smith Road, verified by master meter. Sewer, cleaned the fence line, removed trees that were growing through the fence. He fixed the brakes on the dump truck and street signs have been fixed up.
Street signs.
Yeah, we okayed him for 12.
Oh, when to pick up new ones.
Yeah.
Okay. How many street signs down? New ones, okay. No worries.
Brian's not here.
Didn't see Brian today. Sometimes I see Brian.
Yeah.
See him speak.
Really can't go over personnel policies if Terry's here, can we?
Can we still do like a work session, so we just get together one afternoon, one morning, whatever, and just figure out what we want to say and.
Yeah.
get it together?
Yep. When can we do that? I'm not good on
able to secure up to a $25,000 matching grant from the state of Indiana to put in new restrooms that would be at the park. And so it would be inside the town hall building, and then have outside accessibility as well for, you know, during festivals or when people are, you know, playing on the playground and sports court. And so we think it's a great opportunity to have this potential for a $25,000 match from the state. But since, you know, we don't own the building, it's the town, we are required to ask for your support and for you to sign a letter. And as soon as, you know, you do that, I'll take it back with me, and then we'll upload it to the state. And then the idea is, at Lazy Days, and then also Craig has a number of other fundraising opportunities in the works for it, that we will be ready to launch by Lazy Days so that we can capture as many donations as possible, because we have to raise the money. The foundation will give money too, but we, the state says this should be crowdfunding, so we are capped at, I think, like $10,000 is the most that the foundation can give, so the rest we have to do fundraising for. We have 60 days to do it, and I think, and we'll be able to, but, you know, the clock is ticking, so the sooner we can work on it, the better. And Craig has the plans for it, and we can answer any questions that you might have.
So part of the submittal to the state was gathering historical data and getting approval from I do have a letter from the History Museum that is full support. We are also seeking that from the Owen County History Preservation, and because it's gotta go to the state, because the gazebo is a
Historical site, the whole, it's part of a historical site, and so the state, preservation has to approve it.
So part of that submittal required plans, so I have drawn detailed plans, which these are the small copy, they're hard to read, but, these are, descriptions, there is, materials needed, there are jobs, that would be created, and.
We don't have to put it out for a public bid like some state projects, we can use all local labor and in-kind labor and all of that. So that was, it's a really great opportunity, because unlike a lot of state grants, there's not a lot of conditions placed on us at all.
So those, when they're reduced like that, it's very hard to read those. I do have the full size.
We suggest a shelter house, little town hall in between.
Yeah, in between the town, old town hall and the shelter.
Correct. So materials will be conforming with the existing, as far as the brick and the roof that we just did. So those materials would match, and then, later on, if we were able to, renovate that, I still call it the rec building, those are fire truck in there. Because that's what we would like to see that happen. So that architecturally, altogether, the building would be, appear to be as one, but, at this point, we would go just to the restroom part and, make it conform with the shelter. So, there is also, I also have a short list of donors, which, I'm pretty favorable with, getting a good start on, raising that money. So I've had some, people I've already approached that, said I'm in, and most of these, we are talking about in the neighborhood of 500 to 1,000 or more. You're on the list. All of yeah, so, and as well as individuals, some of the other projects that we have going will be more, targeted at, individuals, such as the brick paper walk I have CP.
And we can use this as part of the match as well, so it's another great way. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have all my board members back for it, so it's a great thing.
So I think I heard you say that it was gonna be geared toward small donations or group.
For the restrooms, we're targeting more, corporate.
It can be any size, it's just that, the foundation isn't allowed to provide
So
more
if the
than
town,
10.
basically if the town had, I'm just throwing this out there, $5,000 or
Even
$10,000.
That would be, yeah.
But how soon will you know if you needed that? If the town had $10,000, they could spend it a month.
We have 60 days to raise $20,000.
Yeah, so, and we've already got, we already have some commitments, so, you know, we'll, I mean, I think that we'll know after the first 30 days how we're doing, you know,
So,
in terms of the fund.
as I understand, the clock hasn't started yet.
No, it doesn't start until all of this gets in, we get all the approvals that we need, and, but we have the donation website ready to launch, and, all the photos on there, that's all approved by the state already, so, my intern is working on it, she's done a really nice job of working with Craig on it, and so, that way, as soon as the state says, yes, you have everything in, it's approved, we're just gonna hit launch, and then that is the day that the 60 days starts. And so we're not supposed to formally begin fundraising until they approve it, but
Got any
we
money
do,
yet?
yeah, as long as we're just holding on to it, they said that that's fine, so.
So you can let us know if you're gonna match, or if you're gonna meet to go.
Exactly, yeah, we'll know, well
And then
before
the town
the 60
could
days,
take action.
if we needed to, but.
Which, the estimate is just that. It's like $60,000 estimate.
And so we're gonna raise 30, we'll get 30 for this, from the state, right?
Right.
We get
What I'm
half.
saying is, even though the states may give us $30,000, project could run to 75. So what I'm saying is, don't stop fundraising just because.
In
you have a-
case it's over, yeah,
Right. Just-
but we'll,
Now, can we take bids on, once you get the paperwork, we can take bids on the labor, or you know,
Yeah,
As soon
I'll coordinate all of the, construction of that, and we can take bids for, just like I do on every project, I would have 2 or 3 bids on
Yeah.
various aspects of each phase, so.
you'll have a better diagram of what the restroom will look like.
I have a full set of.
Well, I'm
drawings,
yes,
plans, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, it'd be bigger, so.
Yeah, I can tell.
yeah, he has really big ones too.
But just find those hard to display in a public setting.
Now, they have locks on them,
I'm sorry.
or we have locks.
We know where
Yeah.
it's at.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's all ADA compliant, also, vandal resistant, there are vandal resistant, fixtures, and we take measures, like, don't really, in a public restroom, you're not gonna spend a lot of time in there, so, you know, just a reflective, stainless steel plate is sufficient, rather than glass kids can break. Take a lot of, extra measures in no paper, other than the toilet paper. We haven't figured out how to do that, hands-free yet. So,
What about the heat?
it'd have a furnace unit in.
Did it have a furnace?
Probably, well, what I've shown is the mini split.
Mini split?
Mini splits, this is actually only 325 square feet or something like that. It's not.
And so the electricity to handle that, or have to have
Yeah.
upgrades to the electricity?
Yeah, well, there's a lot that has to be done, to that existing wall. shelter as well as the existing building. So, if there's lacking power in one, one may have more than the other. I would assume that the shelter would have, an abundance of power since there's only fixtures, light fixtures and, outlets. So that could be the source for additional power, so.
And then the town would pay the water bill and the electric bill there.
That's on town property, the town, we're building this and it becomes town property,
Yeah.
so.
And the town also, I mean, you can decide how you wanna run it. I mean, I assume the goal is to have year-round programming potentially,
Well,
but.
the long range, yes, that's
In
why
the
I
long
keep
term,
targeting the old town hall.
Yeah, but-
Is if that were renovated into a space that were attractive to be used for elderly or youth, then a park programming person overall, makes a lot of sense.
But for example, in Spencer, we have, you know, the newer outdoor restrooms and those are closed during the winter months. So they're all winterized and all of that, but they're closed and locked during the winter months so that they don't have to worry about that.
And the way this lays out, you have many different, means of using these facilities. There's two to the park, there's two that could be used from either the rec building or the shelter, or both. So you can lock any one of those, and they are handicap accessible, so, I think,
Who's
those
gonna be in
things.
charge of keeping them clean and
Like I say, at some point in time,
volunteers?
there's gonna have to be
I think
some,
volunteers, but eventually.
yeah, actually, that's actually needed now, because I go up there, when I go up to work, I'm cleaning stuff up that, you know, needs to be cleaned up, particularly in the shelter. So.
So do you need this on you tonight to get things rolling, or?
I do, if that's possible, yeah.
I'll hopefully get my deposit back for the porta potties I was gonna put out there instead, but. That's better. We looked into that for the eclipse, and I was like, oh my God, they were ripping everything
Oh,
off
they
so
were
bad.
at that time.
You would've known in Spencer, yeah, most of them went to downtown there. We just went without, and we survived.
Thank you very much. And we'll keep you posted. Thank you.
They want brick?
Take forms for sure.
I'll pass it on later.
Wes, you're up.
Okay, well, I represent the Southern Gateway Radio League, and we're gonna get the antenna, or get the repeater going. We've started getting things together. What we're gonna need, and we discussed this before, is a key, so we have access into the interior. We have a certified drone pilot that's gonna come over and take a drone up and take a little video of what's up on top, so we know what kind of hardware and everything we're gonna need, to get everything up there. We also have, the antenna, on order, so we've got things coming. We're ready to get this thing up there. We had a situation here not too long ago with the weather, when winds went through Spencer, Ellisville, Bloomington, power went out. The Spencer repeater, which is the only repeater, amateur radio around here right now, it went down. And the way I understand it, 911 went down in Spencer. I may be wrong there, that's just what I heard, but I do know the repeater went down. When that happens in severe weather, we have no communication. Yeah, the antenna up here hasn't worked in a long time. That's not ours. We kind of contacted the guy that owns that, his name's Mike Poe, and we contacted him a couple of years ago and asked him if he wanted us to help him. And he said, no, he didn't want any help with it or anything. So, the Indiana Repeater Council regulates who gets what frequencies and whatnot on repeaters. And there are stipulations in there that if your repeater's not working for an extended period of time, then you may lose that frequency. We don't know that, we're not pushing for that, but what we want is, we want communication in this area, which we really need. But right now, we're just looking to, for the permission to get the key, so our organization, there's only 4 of us, at this point, can have access to where we can, because we understand it, tower looks great and it's done. Yeah, what we're gonna put up there will be clamped on, there'll be no welding or anything like that, it'll be clamped on with stainless steel clamps.
No footprints on my tower.
Oh,
Wipe your feet, take your shoes off.
yeah, yeah.
It's been in years.
So, if we could get that handled, we're ready to start. I mean, we've already put things in motion. We've been planning this as they've been working on that too, so, that's where we're at right now.
So, only question I have about, not that I don't trust you, there's all kinds of rules and regulations for, I can't just give you a key to go to our chlorine room over here. Somebody would have to be with you to do that. I don't know about water, if we have Terry here, you can only answer it. To the town's water supply, that's giving you a key. Again, I'm not saying I don't trust you, there's just, if somebody were there, if we had an employee of the town, representative of the town, that it shouldn't be a problem. Anytime you want.
The way I understood that
It seems,
the way I understood that Mike Polo, that's got the other repeater up there now, that he had a key. Now, we don't have a problem with any of that, I mean,
I don't wanna make it
any
hard,
kind of
but-
supervision. The only problem with that is if a repeater, if the power was to go out, now our repeater is planning on, we're planning on a battery backup system. So if power did go out, the repeater would still be up. But if something was to happen to the repeater, it needed reset or something like that, we'd have to get in there at who knows what
so
time.
it's 3 AM, I need you to water tower for me.
Hopefully that wouldn't happen, but, if we, if we need to do that, then that's what we need to do, but we would need to have access to it at possibly any time. And, we're putting quite a bit of equipment in there, and, none of this is any cost to the town or anything, but.
Jesus, okay. So it's okay.
Make a motion to give you the key to the water tower.
So,
All in favor?
I,
Who did you?
either that or you live with me,
He only lives a block away.
I live right there.
You could wake him up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If they let you have a key, I'll have one.